Today's video is sponsored by Picker's Grip. Stop dropped picks and pick rotation while playing with Picker's Grip. Made with all natural ingredients in Virginia. Check out their website to order. When you support my sponsor, this also supports my channel, and it's very much appreciated. Now through Christmas, enter promo code Robert2020 and save 20% off everything site-wide. So if you jog backwards, would you gain weight? Maybe that might have been my problem. Hello, I'm Robert. Check this out. A long skinny box showed up this week. Let's see what's in it. Whatever it is has a case. Soft case, anyway. I don't know what this is, by the way. I mean, I know the brand, and I know, they kind of sort of told me what they were sending me, but that's the extent of it. This is a nice cake bag. What the hell is this thing? Wow. And there it is. Wow. This is a Koloss Guitars GT6. This is the body. The body itself is made of aluminum alloy, which alloy basically indicates that it's aluminum mixed with a bunch of other stuff, and a carbon fiber neck. There's no wood in this thing at all. No wood. And so far, just pulling it out of the box, I really like the way it feels. Okay, that maybe needs a setup. Let's set it up and see how she performs, shall we? By the way, it's days like these that make me really, really like my job. All right, so here we have the GT6 from Koloss Guitars. I saw these things being advertised on the interwebs, Facebook specifically. And, I thought they looked really, really cool. And to be fair, what they were really advertising was they have another model that's, basically comes with all the parts in a box, and, you pull it all out of the box, you put it together yourself. I saw those, and I thought, I'm not real big on building guitars, but that looks kind of cool. Because the guitars themselves look cool. So that's why I reached out to them, and they said, how about we just send you one of these instead? So what they sent me was this here GT6 model, and the truth is I like it. I like it quite a bit, though there are some cons to it. Start with the things I do like. I really, really like the body shape. I'm about sick to death of black guitars as I can possibly be, but I'm making an exception for this one. And I didn't pick the color, by the way. They just sent it to me. I do really, really like this. This satin black finish, which is painted. Really, probably more of a powder coat than anything, because it's not wood, so it's it's not really paint. But between the looks and the shape and the neck feels amazing. I mean, this is one of the best playing necks that I've gotten my hands on in a while. This one's up there with my Majesty. I like the feel of the neck that much. It's a great playing guitar. It's got some, knockoff. I hate to use that term, but let's face it, that's what they are. They're EMG, active EMG copies, but they are active pickups. There is your 9-volt battery compartment there in the back, and I believe it's a 25.5-inch scale with a 12-inch fretboard radius. Carbon fiber, graphite, carbon fiber neck. As well, so there is no wood on this guitar at all, and I was kind of surprised to see that it had a truss rod on it, but the truth is it needed it because the truss rod needed adjusting when I pulled it out of the box, and of course it's got some proprietary branded locking tuners that I like. Yeah, I like it. I like it quite a bit, and for the playability alone, I'm going to hang on to it. That said, there are a few QC issues about this guitar that I need to point out. And before I do so, I am going to first say that before I turned on the camera to shoot this video, here last night I emailed Koloss Guitars and informed them of everything, that I found, all the negative stuff that I found on it. And they responded, but they the response was pretty short, and I did make sure and tell them that, and that I do intend to share these things, share my findings with these things in a video, so people are going to hear about it. They didn't seem to have any problem with that, so here we go. Number of things. I mean, it needed a lot of setup work out of the box. I don't expect any guitar to play perfectly right out of the box. I mean, it's just not realistic. But this one needed some serious work. I mean, the neck was severely backbowed. The bridge was all out of whack. It was not set up properly. The intonation was all out of whack. It took me forever to get this thing intonated. It didn't have a 9-volt battery in it. That's not a big deal. I've got 9 volts laying around. That's not a problem. That's an easy fix. But still, you buy a guitar with active pickups, you expect it to have a 9-volt battery already installed in it, ready to go. And not only did it not have a battery ready to go, and it didn't have a battery at all. Most of those things are obviously very, very, very easily fixable, and they were. None of those things are any longer an issue now. The things that are still an issue that I cannot fix are one other thing was the socket for the trim arm on the tremolo itself was the tremolo arm kept falling out like crazy, and I couldn't figure out how to tighten it. And then finally I saw there's a teeny tiny little set screw there on the back, so I snugged that down, and that fixed the problem. That's all there was to that. But the more glaring issues, the first thing I noticed is, unfortunately, number one, it was missing a screw on the back plate. Again, not a big deal. Doesn't affect functionality. That back plate, even minus a screw, still isn't, is not going anywhere. But it was missing a screw right out of the box. It was the first thing I saw. The side markers, the side fretboard markers are, a few of them are popping out. They're not flush with the surface, and I could certainly feel it with my finger. There's a couple of them. One in particular that hopefully you'll be able to see here on this close-up shot that should be on your camera right now. Third was, you will notice the tuner for the high E string. This tuning machine right here is actually installed crooked compared to the rest of them. That's pretty glaring. Again, it still seems to hold tune okay. It doesn't seem to interfere with the tuner right next to it, but it's one of those things that any one of these things individually is not that big of a deal, but enough of them start to pile up, and they all become pretty glaring, and that's the thing with quality control when it comes to guitars, I'm a pretty forgiving guitar player. I can look past, one or two things like that here and there. That's not a big deal to me, but enough of them pile up, and I simply can't ignore it. Like I said, I like the way that this guitar plays well enough that I am going to keep it for that reason alone. I also like some of the features that it has on it. The pickups are wired for coil tapping. It's not a locking tremolo, and it's more of it's a real modern style tremolo. Actually, I've never really owned anything like this. So there's no locking nut, but it does still have fine tuners down here at the bottom, which I think are a really nice touch. Beware of these things. Probably the thing I don't like about it the most, though, is the pickups. The pickups are, in my opinion, very not good. I don't think they sound very good at all. I just don't. For active pickups especially, they are very, very weak in output and, kind of flat sounding, and honestly even a little muddy. So, that's the thing that I probably, that I don't like about it the most, and means I'm gonna have to spend more money to put on pickups in it, which I don't care to do. But this particular instance, because I like the neck, I like the neck and the playability and the look of it as well as I do, I'm gonna suck it up and do it. But typically I don't buy guitars that don't already have a good set of electronics in them. This particular guitar, I want to say that these, I'm still new to this company, but my understanding is this model has been around for a little bit, and these started out as roughly about the $999, $1,000 price point. Nowadays, I think these sell for $599, brand new in the box. They do come with a very, very nice gig bag. I will say that. They have an awesome, really nice gig bag. It would probably cost you, $120 on its own, if I had to guess. But for $599, you get a really, really cool looking guitar that, that my understanding is, some people have bought bought Koloss guitars, and they've been wonderful right out of the box with no complaints whatsoever. So realistically, the QA based on my experience and other reports that I've heard, it's kind of a crapshoot. You might get a good one right out of the box. You might get something that's going to need a little bit of work. For $5.99, relatively pretty fair price. I think I pay $6.99 like my Schecter CR6 that I bought, for example, that was wonderful and pretty much flawless right out of the box. For an extra $100, it didn't come with a gig bag. It didn't have a tremolo on it, but that was a great guitar for $100 more than what this one costs. And both I've done 2 demos of Chapman guitars this year, and both of those are in the $500 price point, and were flawless out of the box as well. So I think the design is magnificent. I think the idea and the inspiration is absolutely awesome. I think they just need a little bit of work on the execution. So if you're like me and you're more of a forgiving customer and willing to willing to look past some of the things that I pointed out, like what I found on mine, then this is buy one, absolutely, because I think especially once you get your hands on the neck, you're really gonna like it, especially if you really like modding your own guitars. There's a lot of those people out there. This might be for you as well. Like I said, overall, despite the deficiencies, I like it. I think it's I love the way it plays. As I mentioned, it's cool, it's unique. You don't just walk into a store and buy an all aluminum alloy / carbon fiber guitar. You really can't do that anywhere. This is the first one of these, something like this. I've never owned anything like this. So, absolutely, hats off on the design and the inspiration. So, they've knocked that out of the park. Yeah, there you have it. Links to where you can buy Koloss guitars, including the GT6, as well as some of their other models, will be down in the description, along with links to all the other gear used in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Adios.